Radical Son by David Horowitz. This book bears a dedication. This book is for my children, John, Sarah, Ben, and Anne, who lived this story with me. My grandchildren, Julia, Mariah, and Sophia, who will one day read it. And for April, who has already made the next chapter a happy one. Radical Son by David Horowitz. Prologue. In the autumn after my mother died, I visited the cemetery where I had buried her alongside my father in the Long Island earth. The soil on her grave was grown with grass and had begun to be almost indistinguishable from his, joining them again, a couple in death as they were in life. Picking some pebbles from the path beneath me, I placed them on their headstones, tokens of remembrance, according to the Jewish custom. My mother's bore the inscription, "Always," a song which had become her favorite in her last years in California, and which symbolized to me the steadfastness with which she had stood behind her family, and especially myself. My father's, which I had put up 5 years earlier, was already beginning to weather. I had directed the mason to inscribe it with the words, "Life is struggle," a favorite quote from his mentor, Karl Marx. It was a struggle he had lost long before we finally laid him to rest. This return to origins, if only symbolic, was a way of measuring the distance I had come. It often seemed as far as the poles themselves. By the time I was a parent myself, my own parents were already strangers, so remote in experience that I hardly looked to them for counsel. And yet, at times, it had not seemed that far at all. There was not a moment in my adult life, not even now that they had been returned to their primordial dust, that they failed to assume in my imagination the aspect of 50 years before, when I felt they could see through me, as though I were glass, and provide all the comfort I needed. It seemed to me a metaphor for life itself, which sets us free only to bring us relentlessly back to earth. Feeling my parents' presence again, I tried to imagine myself as I had appeared to them when they were alive. But try as I might, I could not put myself in their place. I could not imagine how they saw me, how they felt the personal agonies I endured, or how they understood the metamorphosis I underwent. The murder that had changed my life in mid-course, the breakup of the family I had loved so intensely and worked so hard to create, the pilgrimage I had made from the snug, progressive ghettos they...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?